Well, hello everybody and welcome. Thanks for watching. Today's topic is a little bit of me asking for your input and your opinions, your advice, if you will, on what I should do about upgrading, buying a new cartridge stylus for my turntable. Uh, this isn't the turntable, but then it is because it's the same brand and the same type. What I have is this has now become my secondary turntable, and it's out here in the garage slash poker slash studio area, and my primary is inside the pad. They're both the same, based on budget. Like most of us, our buying decisions are based on budget, right? And so I came down on purchasing the Fluence RT81, and I bought a new one because I bought this RT81 like a couple of years ago or so, and I love it so much. It's great. It's great value for a great turntable that does everything I want it to do. Okay, so I love this so much that there was a great price on it on the last Black Friday. So I bought a new one with the thoughts that I'm going to upgrade on the cartridge, right? Because the machine does everything I want it to do. Now, here's where you guys come in. Being budget conscious, though, as I have to be, I still want to get the best bang for my buck, right? I'm not an audiophile because I can't afford to be one, but I want to think like one, and more importantly, I want to listen to my music like one, right? So I want to get the best music experience as I possibly can on my shoestring budget. So here's where I'm at. The RT81 from Fluence comes standard with a Audio-Technica 95E cartridge, which sounds okay, doesn't sound bad. That's what this one came with, a couple of years ago. Originally, I upgraded a small upgrade to it, and I bought myself this Audio-Technica VM 95ml, which is supposed to be an upgrade from that one that I had. And yeah, it is, but not that much. So I'm looking to get a totally different brand and different cart for the primary turntable inside the pad. And here's where I'm at. Budget wise, I'm more or less like at the 300 and sub 300 bucks window. And so that kind of puts me in a position where I've been looking at Ortofon Blue, Ortofon Red carts, and the Nagaoka 110. Now, I've been looking at those because they're all more or less within my range. And when I talk about buying a cartridge, included in that price that I have to consider is how much it costs extra to come with a head shell that's going to work on the Fluence. Because one thing I love about the Fluence as well is that you can very easily pop out the head shell and pop in a new head shell, and there you go, and you have a different cartridge. And so I have to budget for that too. It costs like, I don't know, 50, 75 bucks extra to have it mounted on a head shell. So that has to come in. As I said, like 300 bucks all in on the budget, more or less. 350 pushing it if it really seems worth it. But otherwise, like if I'm looking at $400 for a cart, nah. I'm just not there yet. I'm not that rich. But I'm 300 rich. Okay, so anyway, I've been looking at YouTube videos of those, the Ortofon Red, Ortofon Blue. I've been seeing between those two, people say that the blue is better. It's considered higher. And because they say that it clarifies the instruments much better. I haven't heard much about whether separation is better, but they say that the sound is clear. But other people tell on their videos that the Ortofon Red is better. It's not as crystal clear in all of the instruments, but it's a warmer sound. And that is what I'm looking for, a warmer sound. So, and the Ortofon Red is less expensive. So I wonder about that. But I also wonder about this Nagaoka, which is supposedly a good cart as well. So I'm, I've been trying to do research on YouTube videos, and I've come to the conclusion of it sounds like six of this and a half a dozen of that. And I really can't get enough of a clear distinction between, okay, this one sounds really the best for what I want. To tell you guys what I'm looking for, once again, it's a cart that's going to fit in a head shell, that's going to fit the Fluence, and I want a richer, deeper kind of a sound, warmer kind of a sound. I listen to a lot of 1970s and 80s vinyl. I do buy new vinyl, but that's not my, that's not really my sweet spot. Mostly older pressings. And those apparently play differently, I've heard, about the Nagaoka. I've seen a couple where they say the Nagaoka plays really well on new records, but it has some problems with static pops on older vinyl. Well, that's going to kill me because that is what the majority of my collection lands in, if that's true. Anybody out there own a Nagaoka with a 110 cart? Is that true? Did that work for you? Is that your experience? So that's what I want to know. I want to know what's your experience, and I want to know if you're sitting in my seat looking at those three, which way would you lean and why? And also, maybe you know of another brand that I don't know about yet that does these things that I'm looking for, but I just didn't mention it. And it's probably just because I'm not aware of it. Somebody on Twitter mentioned to me this morning Grotto. I think that's what it is, Grotto. And I've seen a couple of their videos. It looks like they are a reputable, good cartridge brand. Although that person mentioned that the prices, they had a lower level, lower tier Grotto, and it sounded great. And that person mentioned a rich, warm sound. But he also said the prices have gone like this since he bought his. So I haven't looked yet at the prices for the lower tier of that brand. But I'm open. Maybe one of you out there has that brand and has a lower tier cart that you might be able to fill me in on. Because, hey, I'm looking for input. I don't want to make an impulse buy. I want to do my homework, do my due diligence. And when I pull the trigger, I want to be happy and not be regretful, 2 months down the road. Darn it, why didn't I buy that? And so in order to try to avoid that as much as possible, I reach out to you, my fellow vinyl lovers, my fellow vinyl lovers and fellow music listeners. What would you do? Which way would you point me? All right. So just leave a suggestion in the comments or something like that. And let's see where that goes. I want to buy within the next, maybe within the next month or so, 30 days. I'd like to make my purchase and get rolling on that with that new cart. And also, just as an aside, I don't want to even open a whole new box of worms, but why make another video? Something else I'm considering is one reason why I bought the Fluence is because they come with a preamp, and my amp that I have inside the pad doesn't have a phono amp. And so Fluence called me because it has an installed preamp in the turntable. So I've been using that, and that, works for me. But I've also heard that if you buy a third market preamp, it's separate preamp, there are some good low budget quality preamps that are sitting out there that are going to be an upgrade from my Fluence. What do you think? Is there one that you might consider? And that would be what would be in my budget would be, roughly maybe, $100, $80. I don't want to spend more than that today. Maybe I'm more rich in 6 months, but today that's where I'm at. Plus, too, I'm talking about blowing $300 on a cartridge. So, anyway, that's where I'm at. That's my request. Maybe I'll get one comment. Maybe I'll get 100. Who knows? But either way, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And of course, I'll keep you updated on what I decide with doing there. Uh, Thanks for watching. Peace.